Hi, thanks for clicking on this video and watching our presentation about joining the Udefine Wellness Network. I'm Denise O'Malley. I'm up here in this little box, and I am the founder of Udefine Wellness. We had a request from a number of people to say, hey, can you put something in a video for me to watch? So this is for you, and hopefully we'll be answering many of your questions, but more than anything else, it's just really giving you an overview of Udefine Wellness, who we are, what we're doing, and how we came about. So let's go ahead and jump on into it. First of all, we are a community. There are a ton of online provider directories. You've joined some of them. We're different than that. We are a community of healthy living professionals. And we're more than what is just a listing. Like, as I said, there's a ton of them out there. But as a community, what we are doing is we're providing support for you and a way to showcase your expertise. And as a community, we're able to do things like create a wellness education catalog. Think of it as a speakers bureau. Like create employee benefit programs for employers to subsidize the cost of services with you. Like create a discount savings card. Most people, when we sit down and talk, they want to hear our story and how we came about. So let me see if I can do this in a timeline of sorts. So we began December 2015. Literally, I decided to step away from my former life. My career has been as an insurance agent, so I call myself a reformed insurance agent. And as an insurance agent, I literally spent a couple of decades meeting with thousands of employees, enrolling them in their employee benefit programs. And I heard time and time again, I wish our employee benefits program covered fill in the blank. Maybe it's life coaching, maybe it's nutrition, maybe it's fitness, massage, Reiki, a whole host of things. And I had that in the back of my mind. I happen to have the skills and experience to actually put together employee benefit programs. That was something I did for 10 years in my career. And so I knew how to go about doing it. And when I decided to step away from the world of insurance, I just had enough. I needed to leave to save my soul is how I describe it. I just heard this little voice in the back of my head saying, you know what you need to do, Denise? You have the skills and experience. You have the resources. Now go do it. And it was to create an employee benefit program that didn't currently exist in the marketplace. So on January 1st, 2016, I woke up that morning and decided, you know what? Today's a good day to launch the company. We didn't have an actual launch date in mind. So we went ahead and we kicked it off. And I had a handful of providers in my network. I had my husband, who's a massage therapist, someone in his office who also does massage, a Reiki practitioner from his office, as well as a nutrition coach in his office, and my chiropractor. And that was our provider network when we started out. So since we were creating something that had not existed before and it's provider driven, we had to spend a lot of time recruiting providers, getting our story out there. And we started growing really fast once we got traction. And in 2017, approximately, I kept hearing people say, I want to take my expertise into the workplace, but I don't know how to go about doing it. I did. So we launched Wellness Talks. This is a catalog of workplace wellness classes created by and conducted by the providers in our network. And those who wish to have a course in there can do so, but they're certainly not obligated to do so. Now, let's fast forward to 2019. By the end of 2019, we had almost 300 provider locations in 10 states in our network, and that represented about 625 professional healers. We also had listed about 130 modalities, the different types of services, making us one of the most comprehensive and diverse employee benefit plans in the marketplace. Now we come to 2020. We've been marketing our services to employers and individuals all along. But we hit 2020. And a lot of things have happened. I don't need to go into details about the pandemic and everything else, but we lost a lot of providers in our network, not physically losing them as in they passed away, but they closed their businesses. And employers, they, quite frankly, they were preoccupied. They didn't have time to talk to us about wellness. They're dealing with working from home, furloughs, layoffs. They're dealing with getting back to work and safety at the workplace. And then all of a sudden, Black Lives Matter hit, and they're dealing with diversity, equity, and inclusion. And those months gave us time to redesign some of the programs we have in the market and launch two new ones. One is a discount savings card for individuals who said, hey, I want to play along, but I don't have an employer, or they're retired, or they're self-employed, or their employer just doesn't offer it. And then we also launched something called Wellness in a Box. So it became a more affordable option for employers, very desirable for them. And we'll talk about that in a little bit more. And then the big thing is that we outgrew our system that we had, that we've been using for years. And we needed to move to a new e-commerce platform. So it's brand new. It is an exciting new venture and where we're going. And I'm going to spend some time talking about that one as we move into this. But quite frankly, as a company, we focus on only two things. Let's keep it very simple. We focus on access to you and education so that people can find new paths to healthy living. Let's face it, so many people out there, they have never stepped outside of their medical insurance plan. As an insurance agent, I can tell you, we've taught them very, very well. If something's wrong with you, go find a doctor in the network. So there's a lot of things that people are not getting help with because it's not included in medical insurance. So we need to educate them that there are other paths out there because some people just don't know. So access and education are the only two things that we do. And we focus in two areas, which pretty much covers everyone. We focus in the workplace and individuals. So on the workplace, we are bringing in the access and education through the wellness talks and the access to services. And we have a couple of different ways that they can do that through our employee wellness benefit plan, our new corporate wellness in a box, and our healthy living savings card for discounts. On individuals, all we have available for them right now is the healthy living savings card. Now, this video presentation is not to go into deep detail on how these programs work. You can go to our website at youdefinewellness.com. I'll show that to you in just a little bit, and you can read more about these products. They are revolutionary. There is nothing else like it in the marketplace. We are doing something that no one else is doing, and there's a lot of people trying to chase me right now. So what does it mean to be a part of our provider network? What are some of the benefits to you? Well, first and foremost, the new e-commerce platform. You know, what we had was great, but as I said, we outgrew it. The new e-commerce platform that we have moved to is robust. It has huge functionality, and please don't look at my typo on the screen. I did not see it. Now I've pointed it out to you, right? There's other things that we do as provider benefits. We focus on additional business exposure for you. I do video recordings with our providers all the time. We have over 200 videos in our YouTube library. You can participate in our hosted events. In 2019, we did something called Defining Wellness Confab. And over 10 days, we had 50 some odd presentations with our providers. We hosted them live, accessible to the public, and then used those videos and put them in our YouTube library. In 2020, when everything shut down, we brought out Stay Treat 2020, which was 3 days long with 30 some odd presentations, again, open to the public. Come in, learn about something, and our providers could volunteer to be speakers at those events. We also have networking groups, and we've had a variety of programs over the years that we have launched, some that we've taken away. We've kind of scaled back on them right now. I'm recording this in July of 2020, and I can tell you we've just kind of scaled back because there's so much noise on the internet and distraction that we just weren't getting the participation that we wanted. So we've kind of scaled away from it, but we can do anything we want when you have a provider network. So let's talk a little bit more about the Wellness Center because it really is the creme de la creme of everything going on right now. Now, when you go to the Wellness Center, and I'll show you the link in just a moment, there are filters, and these filters allow a user to find you in a variety of different ways through the benefit plan that they may be on, maybe a wellness talk that they're looking for, and what's the topic. They could search by location, they can search by our products, and the most important one is this: what can we help you with? There is a list of over 100 different topics that our providers have added to their store. I'll show you the stores that a consumer can go to it and scroll down and find almost anything they need. I have a philosophy in life that most people know what's wrong. They just don't know what to do about it. So they know, for an example, they're suffering from anxiety, but they don't know what to do, particularly if they're going away from their medical insurance plan, where they would go and see their primary care physician, who might refer them out to someone, might give them a prescription, but it may not be the most holistic way to solve that. So in the Wellness Center, they can choose by one of the different topics that we have there. And let's just choose anxiety for example. So today, in putting this video together, when I clicked on anxiety, there were 72 services our providers offer currently that will help someone with anxiety. And these are just the first 5 results. And as you can see, they're from different providers in our network, and they're offering different things here so that the user can go through and say, hey, I want to learn more about that, and click read more. So let's look at one of these that came up. This is a website that he's done a really good job setting up his store, and so I like using it as an example. And so somebody who saw that from that search filter, they would click on either read more or the title of the talk, and that will take you to the product or the service information page. Our e-commerce site looks very much like the types that you have used in the past. Almost everybody's done some sort of shopping online, right? So ours will come up the same way. Pictures that this provider has uploaded, they have to be pictures that he owns currently. And then just like with any e-commerce site, there's other pictures you can add to it to kind of explain what it is a little bit more. When somebody is on this page, they could also go over and where it says Imagine If Coaching and Consulting, click on it, and they'll go to his store and see everything he offers. They'll also see a short description. If you scroll down on this page, if you could, you'd see a longer description. So it goes into more detail as to what this program is all about, this service. And it also says to the person, if you have our Healthy Living Savings Card, here is the discount that's being offered by the provider. And if you are on our Employee Wellness Benefit Plan, you would be paying $15 plus present 1 EWB code. And most people are like, what does that mean? Well, the people on our plan know what it means. It means that's the portion that the employer is paying through You Define Wellness. And so the providers get to set their own rates. In this particular case, every employee wellness benefit code has a value of $60. So this provider is saying, I will accept $75 total compensation for services when someone exercises one of those codes with me. Now, this can get confusing because we created something that didn't exist before. But we're happy to go into more detail with you and explain how that all works if you have any questions. This provider also gets to set their categories, which are locations with us, as well as the tags that he has chosen for this particular subject. Now let's go back to this, the main listing. What happens if you click on Imagine If Coaching and Consulting or from the product page? Well, you're going to go to his store, and this is completely customizable by you. You get to add your logo. You get to add a picture. You can add your social media icons. You can add your store policies. Your reviews, when you get them, will be shown here. There's an about section which talks about you and sells you. So you get to tell your story there. And at the bottom of the page, it lists all the different products that are offered through your e-commerce store in our wellness center. So I have to tell you that the value of this wellness center alone, it's huge. I mean, I've looked at platforms and priced it out a little bit. But something really interesting happened in 2020. We've had 4 competitors. Nobody does what we do, but they're in the same business in terms of having a provider directory. 4 different companies have come to us in 2020 alone who want what we have, our network and our products. They can't create the products because they don't have the knowledge to do it. We do. And what's really interesting is their only business is selling provider directory listings. So they charge fees every single month for you to have your listing in there. Now, there are some free ones out there, but they also don't do what we do. And I'll show you that in a moment. Their provider directory listings go for one. I'm going to show you 2 different extremes. One was about $9.99 a month, which is, a little under $120 a year that you're spending. If you're on there for 3 years, you're spending about $360 all total. Another one that I just heard about was $19.99 per month. That comes out to $240 a year. And this is if you pay in advance. Okay, so it's a little higher if you're actually on monthly. So about $240 per year, a 3-year commitment with them, you're going to be investing over $719. Now, granted, it's a small monthly amount. Maybe you're not going to see it anymore, but you know what? It accumulates. And what you do not get with these other companies out there is you don't get a sense of community. You do not get ability to post on a national blog, which we have. We have the community through our Facebook pages and other ways that we network. What you do not get with them that you get with us is when we have public events, expos, and summits, you have an ability to participate in those, many times for free. Sometimes we charge you a nominal fee to help offset the costs of it and to reserve your commitment. They do not offer additional business exposure opportunities. We are constantly coming up with stuff to get you business exposure opportunities. They do not market to employers. We do. That's what our business is selling our products. And so we are marketing to employers with products that contain your services, and nobody else has that. And the only reason that we have that is because I had 10 years of experience in creating new products, pricing them, building the claims administration platforms, recruiting providers, and delivering them in the marketplace. And it's a really weird skill set, I got to tell you. So for all of our providers, we have 3 covenants. We have 3 promises that we're going to make to you. We have had them since day 1 when we launched, and they have remained constant, and they are unbreakable in my opinion. Number 1, you establish and control your compensation. You decide if you're going to offer a discount. You decide what your normal retail rate is. We are not an insurance company that tells you, hey, here's what you're going to earn for that particular service. So we allow the power of competition to take hold. You can go in and see pretty much if you can figure out how the codes work, you can figure out what your competition is charging for a similar service. It's up to you. It's all freedom. It's free will. Covenant number 2, we will provide you with business exposure through our platforms, most particularly through our e-commerce store, but also through our social media platforms. And we will provide additional opportunities for more business exposure, but it's your job to take advantage of what we make available. And number 3, and I think this is the most important one, we will never charge you a monthly or annual fee for remaining in our network. Ever. It's in the contract. We have to change the contract. And that's not to say that we wouldn't down the road, but you'd all be grandfathered in. But so we will never charge you a monthly or annual fee for remaining in our network. We do have, however, a one-time joining fee. It's $500, one time. That's it. And the reason for this is because what we have that those other provider directories do not also is we have a vetted network, meaning that each provider applicant has gone through a criminal background investigation. We have looked at their disciplinary actions, stipulations against their licenses. We make sure they're a legal, valid business. We look at their business reputation and so much more. And the beauty of us and Udefine Wellness is once you're in the network, you're in the network. No surprise renewal fees. You're in there. Now, I want to talk to you about that one-time joining fee. I will never allow money to stand between you joining our network and not. So if this one-time joining fee is an issue for you, we have other ways to participate. And I'm more than happy to discuss them with you. Although I will tell you that the best way to join is the one-time fee up front. And you know what? Check with the person who sent you this video and say, hey, do you have any discounts out there? Because we do have them from time to time. And I'm more than happy to share that discount with you. In fact, I'm going to share one with you right now. If you use save 20%, that's SAV as in Victor, E20% sign, no spaces in between, you're going to save 20%. So there's $100 savings right there. Okay. Now, how do you join? Well, I'm going to send you back to our wellness center. So if you go to, you can either go to our main menu and there's something that says how to become a provider. It's going to take you back here anyways. But if you go to udefinewellness.com/wellness-center and go over to resources for providers, you'll see on the drop down, join our provider network. Just click on it. This is the product that will show up in that filter that I was showing you. And all you have to do is don't hit add to cart yet. I want you to go over and take a look at the product. So just click on join our provider network. It's going to take you to our product page, our store page. And one of the reasons why I want to send you over here is because see all those tabs at the bottom? There's something really important about it, and the application process is right there, but there's a lot of information there. And when you click on any of those tabs, and here's the application process tab, you'll see that joining the Udefine Wellness Network is a two-step process. Step number one, complete the application. Just open the provider application. It's actually what it's going to do is it's going to set up your store. It's going to be the basic framework for setting up your store, but it also has the background information that we need in order to complete our due diligence process. Your store will not be approved and active until such time that we receive your information on it and the payment. So step two is scrolling back up to the add to cart and submitting your fee. So once we have both, then we start the background check. And this typically takes a couple of days. Once approved, you'll be notified via email and you'll be able to access your profile, your e-commerce site, and be able to customize it at that point in time. Of course, I'm always available to answer any questions that you might have. So as you can see, joining Udefine Wellness, there's a lot to it. And we're constantly adding to it and tweaking. And, you know, this is what happens when you're creating something that never had existed before. We see a need in the marketplace and we're going to see if we can create the solution for it. So I welcome you to connect with me at any time. Feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions. You can text me, you can call me. I've given you my cell phone number. You can also connect with me on social media. I always welcome that. I hope that you will consider seriously joining our network. This is an exciting thing. Somebody said to me, man, Denise, you're a workaholic. They said it to me this morning. And I said, you know what? I wouldn't be doing anything else. So this is the path. I finally found my it. And being able to deliver this and support the healthy living professionals, the independent healthy living professionals out there means all the world to me. So with that, I thank you for watching and I hope to hear from you soon.